I am back again with today's trade recap. Let's get right into it. Let us get right into it. I already noted this 4-hour fair value gap. This was the exact same 4-hour fair value gap that I had marked yesterday, and I see that price is still interacting within it and respecting it. So I'm probably just going to look for a move to the upside, capitalize on that, and call that a day. And that is exactly what we did. Going to the 4-hour, we can see that, the fair value gap is still being respected, Could have definitely caught this inverse. When price tapped to the lower quadrant of the fair value gap, it inversed a lower time frame bearish fair value gap. So could have potentially caught it here, but I was not in that. But this would have definitely given me a higher risk to reward and more reward. However, that is not what trading is about. Trading is not about getting these big home runs. Trading is about getting these consistent gains, consistent 1 to 2, 1 to 3 gains, and compounding your account. So let us borrow a replay so that I can just simply go over today's trade and explain my thought process. So we have 930. We see the 930, boom, boom, boom. We see the liquidity grab. We have that sell side. As always, I'm going to leave these drawings right here because it explains my thought process. Price pushes up after tapping into the lower quadrant of this 4-hour fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, this 4 hours seems strong and we're still holding. We're still within it. So let us look for buy opportunities. So we come here and we see that price is pushing up. We have our minor buy side liquidity up here. Price is interacting with that. And we have another buy side liquidity up here. So I'm like, let's try to see if we could catch longs into this buy side and see what we can do. If we catch longs into it, that would be nice. If price keeps pushing up, we'll leave runners and we will try to capitalize on the whole move. Coming to that, we see that price is interacting with this minor buy side liquidity, but I'm still bullish because we've tapped into this 4-hour and we've grabbed liquidity on the downside. So I'm like, okay, let's just try to see if we can catch any moves to the upside. So dialed onto my lower time frame looking for fair value gaps. So I come here and right off the rip, I see this fair value gap. And I'm like, okay, price could potentially, if price really does want to continue pushing up after interacting with this minor buy side, we should see a bounce into this 2-minute fair value gap for price to continue pushing up. So that was the game plan for today. So I'm like, okay, I marked out my 2-minute. And then I'm like, okay, let us see what price decides to do with that. So price trades, price comes back, tap into it. This could have been another entry. This could have been a clean entry of the 2-minute fair value gap. But I'm like, we're still above minor buy side. So it's kind of risky to just enter right here off the 2-minute fair value gap because price could literally just sweep these buy side, minor buy side, and then push back to the downside. So we don't want to get into any positions. Right here, we just want to see what price gives us. If price truly wants to push deeper into this buy side liquidity, we can capitalize off that. But let's just wait to let price signal what it wants to do. So we're still trading. Price taps right into it, gives us a displacement to the upside. So I'm like, okay, so it seems like price actually wants to push up. Nice. Now let us try to structure ourselves into a buy to just capitalize off the move to the upside. We can capitalize off the move as it interacts with the buy side liquidity. So we have this displacement to the upside. I'm like, okay, let us see if this candle left any fair value gaps for us to play with. Okay, so now what I'm looking for as price taps into this 2-minute fair value gap, I'm like, okay, this 1 minute is just there in case price wanted to reverse it and go down. So if price inversed that 1 minute, I would have been interested in shorts because that'll tell me that, we might want to push down some more. Price taps into this 2 minute and still stays within this 1 minute. I'm like, okay, let us see if we can get buy side, if we can get opportunity to go long. Let us see if we can find any bearish fair value gaps that get inversed. And then we can take that to the upside. So boom, we come here, boom, we create this right here, tap back into the 2-minute fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, if price wants to keep pushing up, we should see an inversion of this 2-minute fair value gap. So that is when I came and drew this 2-minute fair value gap right here. And now I'm just simply looking for an inversion to go long. So I dive down back into the 5-minute and I'm like, okay, let's just see. We're still tapping into this 2-minute bullish fair value gap. We're still tapping into it. We're still respecting it. So let's see if price can give us any opportunities. And then boom, we get this push up to the upside. So I'm like, okay, this is a nice push. That is confirming that, we might want to push a little bit higher. We can possibly find good opportunities within this, but I do not like how it has extended. So let us wait for a retracement back into the 2-minute inversion. You can see it right here. This is a 2-minute inversion. If we interact back into this 2-minute inversion, let us go into longs and let us set our stops below the 2-minute inversion. So I'm like, okay, and then let's just aim for like maybe a 1 to 2 for first TP, because when price starts to interact with this buy side liquidity, we could see a bit of struggle to keep pushing up. So I'm like, okay, let's just wait until price trades back into this 2-minute fair value gap, this 2-minute inversion fair value gap, the inversion zone, which is what I like to call it. And then let's see if we can enter and get a push to the upside. And then price comes, boom, gives us this entry. Boom, right in here. As the candle pushed into that, I'm like, okay, I'm going long. I like it. I'm going long. So I position myself in there as price taps right into the 2-minute. And then I'm like, okay, boom, I'm in this trade. So let us see what this trade gives us. Bam. And then the trade just starts pushing, goes straight into my TP. I'm like, okay, cool. Boom. I trimmed most of my position out here. I'm like, cool. This was a quick one. This week hasn't been doing no quickies like this. If I was getting quickies like this whole week, that would have been beautiful. But I was not. I was not getting quickies like this. Instead, price was just playing with my entry levels, trading back into it, and breaking me even. This whole week, two times a week this week, it's done that. So boom, we come into first TP. I trim most off, and we're interacting with this buy side liquidity. We could possibly sweep it and push back down. Boom, pushes back into first TP. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we're getting close to lunch hour. And now, boom, price just starts doing some weird things. I have already secured my profits. So whatever happens here is just for the circus show. So market makers probably thought I was still in this trade. So they're probably like, oh, let's just mess with him and let us try to stop him out. Let's try to stop him out. Let's go right into TP and then try to stop him out in case he thought it was going to trade into second TP. But no, I was already out. I was already out of the trade. I was already done with my trading. So price trades back into this 1 minute and then starts pushing back up. But we're not interested in that. So you guys can't even do anything. You can't do anything. We're out. We are not trying to go for these big home runs. No, we're trying to go for these consistent 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. That is what we care about. So you guys can do whatever you want. I do not care. I love when the market provides these straight to the point trades, straight to TP, or straight to stop loss. Like whatever you want to do, just do it straight up. I like quick feedback. That is why I've structured my strategy to give me a quick response. Of course, sometimes it'll play around and it'll do whatever it wants to do, but at the end of the day, I like my quick feedback. So this was a trade. It wasn't anything crazy. I couldn't catch any 1 to 1 million. I've been seeing people catch like 1 to 1 million RRs. That is not sustainable. So I just like to get my consistent 1 to 2s or 1 to 3s. I'm not trying to aim for 1 to 150 million RRs. Like I be seeing people do that. They'll enter a trade, they'll put their stop like very tight, and then they'll aim for like 1 to 150 million thousand gazillion. I don't want that. I'm chilling, bro. I don't want those high RRs. I'm cool with my 1 to 2, 1 to 3s. So that was the trade for today. I hope you guys enjoy these trade recaps, as I do enjoy making them. and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.